Hello. This is a super short message from me compared to like a short. It's not a 60-second video, but it's a short message. And I just wanted to pass it along because it came through as being very important for advice right now at this phase of the collective ascension. And what the message was about was really taking heed of every little thing that happens in your day-to-day experience around elementals and nature and synchronicities and coincidences. So anything with like the wind, the leaves, water, the earth, but also the way that those things move in connection with the way that the man-made world has come into nature. Obviously, there's buildings and there's stuff everywhere, but the physical 3D world is the cloak that spirit wears. It's how you're alive, it's how I'm alive, it's how little boy's alive. And the way that energy via like wind, and like the winds today in the city that I live in, the city of Pittsburgh, the winds were like whipping. It was very windy today. And I kept hearing winds of change, winds of change. And there's messages everywhere. This is infamous Carl Jung quote, it's one of my favorites. Synchronicities are ever present for those who have eyes to see. So the other message is that there's something within the way that we have been conditioned from birth until however far you've made it so far. I'm sorry, my cat is like chewing on my Christmas wreath, but I think I'm okay with that. She can do that. It's like we've gone through all these things from, it's very interesting how the educational system kind of takes hold of this process and reinforces it during childhood and creates a reward system and therefore almost like a social system with value and merit and performance and all of that. But a feedback loop around how completion is like the goal. Like if you're, name a profession, anything. To complete the task is the purpose, right? If you're a chef, you create the meal. If you're a designer, you create the space or the thing or the format. If you're an artist, you create the piece. If you're a musician, you also create the piece. What else? If you're a contractor, you fix the thing or you complete the solution. If you're a doctor, you complete the wellness or the resolution of the ailment. And with the pace of the energy lately, there's just been, it's like, where's the time to live and enjoy when we get busy? You have to know that it's all the seconds are weighted equally. It's our attention to them and what we're doing within the seconds that changes the way we feel about them. And my guides have been urging me to inject with intention moments of enjoyment to things that I previously would not have found much enjoyment in, because I don't have much time outside of that obligatory schedule of things to partake in the stuff that I typically find enjoyment in. So in order to do what I need to do for my vibration right now, I'm needing to like attentively find joy in just like the in-between moments, right? And really being in the present. It's not like the whole narrative that encases the thing. It's not that I'm between point A and point B, and when I get there, I'm going to do this, and I'm doing this right now, and I'm carrying this very heavy thing. No, I'm just enjoying the way that it feels to connect to like my arms and try to keep my back straight while I'm carrying the heavy thing. And I'm really in the moment of carrying, and I'm like a baby. I don't know why I'm carrying it. I don't even know what it is. Who cares? It's about really engaging. It's a body, mind, and spirit connection for every moment. And so it has to do body with, I carry stuff all the time. I'm basically just a Sherpa of various interior design samples and a bunch of other stuff. I just finished completing a massive furniture switch, and I did it by myself, and I was expressing the way that it felt to try to get the bed frame and the mattress up the servant stair quarters. This is a 100-year-old house, and it's like an old passage, and I was like, it felt like I was in labor. It took a very long time. And when you're in a moment and you're thinking about how your body feels, number one, you protect yourself from injury because you're keyed into what it is you're actually doing, We have a lot of involuntary most things actually that the body does are somewhat involuntary around like breathing or like, I need to catch this, my reflexes, something is flying at me, I'm gonna catch it. I'm not like, okay, engage the right arm, stick it out, extension of fingers. Those things just happen. And so when we kind of like dial back into a conscious space with the body, we realize that all of those things happen and they feel a certain way. And we can bypass those feelings and become numb to them if we're not giving them attention. And we can't give everything attention all at once. But presence to the moment sort of naturally invites in more of that trifold presence, mind, body, and spirit, without having to try. You don't go after it. You just suddenly realize that it's the way that you want to live. Like, you account for these things. Like, the reason why it took me so long to get my bed frame up my staircase is because I did not want to hurt myself. I wanted to successfully execute the task. But I was also just living in the moment, and I was like, I might not be able to do this, And then I like took a piece down and I like deconstructed a few parts of it. Like, I hate unbuilding and rebuilding stuff. In order to move things, I try to just move things in one piece in their built condition, but you got to do what you got to do. And after putting like another pretty big gash in the wall, I was like, okay, these two parts are coming apart. It wasn't about the completion of the thing. And of course it is. I need to get the bed frame up the stairs. I was willing to accept that I might have to put it back where it came from if it didn't work. But I think that I made it through by not having any type of like anger or judgment, because a lot of the times our emotions are in fact our judgment of something. We wouldn't call it that, and I wouldn't be like, I was judging myself for not being able to complete the task. But if I'm disappointed, instead of just allowing it to be what it was, because I didn't have any help, I could wait. I could not do something risky that could put me in like physical danger, right? I could wait and ask for assistance and do it when I had the help and everything. And my dad was in town and he left and he's going to be back, and I just didn't want to wait. I had the time. I thought I could. And so I'd sit down, I'd scale back. I'm seeing the Hanged Man card, and I pulled that in my short from this morning. It is Sacrifice. It's like a beautiful Hawaiian looking woman with a rainbow. I mean, I say Hawaii because of the rainbow. That's what's on the Hawaiian license plate, but it's like looking at things from a new angle, not rushing anything. I was like, I legitimately don't know if I can do this. It will be okay whether or not I can't. It doesn't say anything about my value as a person. I'll simply put the bed back. I tried. Most people wouldn't attempt this, It's whatever. But I'm obviously using this as an example to talk about the message that I wanted to speak on this evening around the fact that like, your whole life will be over at some point. And then whatever you did during it, all of the accomplishments that we worked so hard for, they'll just kind of be what they are, but the emotions along the way will have been your life. And a lot of people forget that. And there's a lot of things coming up. I mean, if you didn't, please do go watch the 2024 forecast videos that I recorded at the beginning of the year, because there's certain amounts of information pertaining to Q2 that we're gonna start to come to terms with pretty soon in our experiences. I'm just fascinated. I'm not gonna go as far to say I was like excited, because life is life, and there's such an intense, I don't know what to, I'm gonna reflect on this later. This is more of a message about collective consciousness increasing like all over the globe, and like energy bodies and ley lines, and what it feels like to be a deeply, psychic in touch person, feeling it come online in a bunch of ways all at once, every day, every second. I'm sure other people feel their own things about that. If you are on that level going through certain things like that, then send me an email. I would love to connect with you right now and talk to other people about it. And if you didn't, also go watch the short that I posted about the lightning. I have a lot to say about that video, but I'm not going to do that tonight. So to summarize, just keying into the moments as they pass and remembering that the goal, that's really like, think of all the great minds throughout history who have used analogies and metaphors and similes to speak of life as if it's theater, as if it's a play. Plato, Shakespeare, all of these creative geniuses who have commented through the arts, because art is a mirror, art imitates life, imitates art. Artists are messengers, right? And so the tasks that we complete, that's like the script of the play. But the actors know that they're not really those characters. They're up there because they love acting. And it's a way for them to try on a way of being. And we all do have predispositions and differences that make us who we are. And so I'm just here to remind everybody that everybody's different, and your key and your compass is always to learn those differences and then understand that to enact your template, right? There's things that we've unfortunately inherited in the way of, it'll be, all of this will be on the deep dives section of the website soon. So I'm not going to go in that direction either right now, but sometimes there's not enough space as a human to hold new information and express ourselves. Think of like the expression of genes as well, like express ourselves and our energy if we're already expressing something else. So there's a level of removal and deprogramming that has to happen from ideology and also everything. If you think different and you feel different, then you will do different, and everything changes because everything starts from within. Sustained behaviors and beliefs become your world. I lost my train of thought with that one, but the daylight is really basically non-existent, and this sweet little scarab beetle has been the most patient. He shredded his hog, and we're very proud. Took a few more days than usual. There was a portion of the very sweet video that I think it's sweet and touching, but I know, never mind, I'm not going to get into why certain content takes, but dogs are precious, and if I could, I would devote my entire YouTube channel to just documenting the majesty of this creature. And I've thought about making a separate channel for the dog, but in a selfish way, I'm like, nope, you have to come here if you want to see him. This is where he lives. Jump. All right. Hope everybody's well. Hope that was helpful. Hope you're feeling optimistic in these very shifty times, because the nature of the energy moving really quickly is what I said probably 2 to 3 readings ago around the quantum pancake. It's just flipping. But what side are you going to end up on now? now. You know, and there's strangeness. I don't know how other people feel, but the things that I encounter day to day, I think I talked about it when it was like after I was in the park, and I was like, these people are like mirages. It's like they're not even real. The intensity of fascination that I seem to be confronting in my physical reality is increasing. I was at CVS today looking for disposable rubber gloves. I churned through tons of those, and there were 2 gentlemen who appeared to work there wearing matching red CVS polos, and one of them was like a young guy in his mid-20s, and the other guy was probably 60 and appeared managerial, and he was training him or something. And I was like, can I bother you to tell me where the rubber gloves are, the disposable rubber gloves? And the younger one, without skipping a beat, I was like, can I bug you to ask you where the disposable rubber gloves are? And he's like, what you gonna be getting into? I was like, what? And his manager looked at him and looked at me and was like, aisle 19. And I was like, thank you. But I just burst out laughing, because I was like, I feel like you know exactly what I'm up to. I'm up to all sorts of stuff. I wear rubber gloves for like epoxy purposes. I always have a spare pair in my purse, because you never know what you're going to have to do in public that you would rather not have to touch with your bare skin. I've had plenty, dog related, who knows? But it was hilarious to me. Just like, he was like a meme in action. He was like, what you going to be getting into? It's like, this isn't a consultation. Why, do you have tip? Like, what are you about to say? And in those moments, I typically say something just like super bizarre so that he'll have a story to tell his friend. And it's obviously a joke, but then I just walk away, because that's how my sense of humor tends to function with people in public. But back to the quantum pancake, it's always a good idea just to land on the side that you would like to see yourself landing on, because it's a choice. And once we realize it's a choice, we realize that maybe we've gotten picked up and swept away a little bit. And then it's like an adult reminding, higher self reminding 3D self, adult reminding child, space and time is an illusion. You got all fast and wonky because of the uptick in emotions, and that's vibrational and energetic. And you can choose to let them pass and engage them in a different way. Going forward, all right, I'm gonna go walk in the darkness now. I can't wait also to be outside and let my aura expand. I really need that. You can tell I'm all crazy. Like, it's interesting how I can get up to these manic levels in just one day if I don't have enough time to like relax, because I'm highly functional. I can keep going all right, but then that's not human. You have to slow down. You have to breathe. You have to ground. And emotionally, getting to a place back to back for like 5 weeks now where I'm like, where? And this would probably surprise people because I put so much time into these videos, and I haven't been doing painting time lapses or posts or anything because I haven't been painting. So really that's what it is. I'm like, time is passing me by and I haven't been able to have my fun. But I have tons of fun, you know? I always do. I find ways more and more with this new level of lesson within, like, I'm even finding fun carrying a heavy burden physically, literally, because I get to think about my spine. I get to get stronger in all of the muscles, you know? And by the way, this is like full body consciousness with mind, body, spirit. It's not like, ooh, I'm working the biceps. No, it's like, how does it feel to stand evenly on, like, you know, even like the arch of my foot, the ball of my foot? How does that affect the instep? And like, I personally have always thought like this because my mother was a yoga teacher since I was a very young child, and like taught classes at home and was always speaking in terms of bodily alignment. But also because I've had knee issues, so I've had to think about it. But then, you know, in order to sustain your arms and your back being upright, like just everything, like your pelvis being like a lot of women tend to rotate their pelvises like under and out for a number of reasons. It has to do with the way that women are conditioned to pose and like protruding the backside, but also because of different kinds of weaknesses in other surrounding areas that make it just, you know, there's a way to engage posture in the spine again, which ties it back to the chakra system. So maybe I will title this message something about the posture thing, because that really has been a theme for January, February, and March. And I hope that people who watched those 2 videos have been following along with that and experiencing that in their lives. And if so, as always, I welcome your emails and feedback around that, because you know, I share my information, but I've been a student of my own stuff for such a long time that I know how valuable it is. And that's why I started the YouTube channel in January of 2023, to get ahead of all of these shifts. But I still, on the conscious level, right? And I know that other people who do work like this feel similarly. You still don't know. You sort through it with everybody else. So it's interesting for me to live through just like the Q1 and moving into Q2, because more information comes through, and then we get to kind of connect what was groundwork and how there really is an ability to kind of surf through probabilities for our sakes and our personal development, but also for collective messages and helping other people navigate their journeys. So with that, I bid you adieu. Thank you for watching if you did. Have a great night.